Hola people, so I decided to record this video instead of just sending you the written information or clarification in the email, just so it's very clear. I have few kind of like disclaimers or expectations in the beginning. First one is that I would like you to slightly forget about the monthly reviews or the way how we did monthly reviews or the reporting part at least until now, because that is going to be changed. And the second thing is regarding the preparation for the review. Because until now it was very easy to sit down 1 hour for 1 hour one day before the review itself and to just copy paste from the priorities to the sheet like what was done. But actually by this we were not able to have like real review, to see actually, to find the gaps, to see what is going on in the entity. So overall the need that was to have this bigger picture of like what is happening in our entity when it comes to operations, when it comes to finances, when it comes to HR, we were just not able to see it holistically. And it was done to like in more parts. Just when you look at the way how it was done, we had our project reviews where we talked about roadmap project. Then we had our FA reviews when we talked about our FAs. And then we had LC reviews when LCs were putting in the information for their own LCs. So we even somehow divided, for example, CXY information into LCs reports, into FA report, and into project report. And overall, we were not able to conduct any analysis, or we were not able to provide any learnings. And then in the end, it was more just for us to report instead of like using these reviews for understanding and analyzing the situation and making something out of it. So with this need, there was a change in the way how we do monthly reviews. There is going to be only one template. It's very simple, yet I would like to explain it because the template itself, it's very simple and it's not, there is not a lot in the template itself. But the less it is in the template, the more activity and proactivity is actually expected from each and every one of us. So I will go, LCPs are receiving, or they have their own recording of what do they need to fill in the reports. So they should be very clear on how it is going to look like. For us, I wanted to record a separate video because it's a bit more complex. First thing that it's important to understand or notice is the fact that I put here the time that we are going to spend on this area, which means that person that is presenting, which is always the MCBP, and in my case, me, is supposed to understand everything that is on the slides and prepare a presentation for approximately 15 minutes, or like not for the full time, because there should be a space for questions and also space for inputs. So please be aware of this time. Not like each one of us has different time, just because it doesn't make sense for each and every one of us to have the same timing. So that is the first thing. Then there are several slides, as you can see. Now look on my left. As you can see with the green ones, those are all the slides for TM, but that's not everything that is expected. So the first thing is KPIs. So looking at like where do we stand as entity when it comes to talent management. So LCPs are going to fill in for their LCs the situation or the reality when we look at these KPIs, and then we have also SKIA performance. So this should give us a bit better complex understanding. So for example, when we look at number of members in LC, we see like how people are doing and how we are as Kia doing. So by just having here that we have 100 members out of 200 planned, we don't really know like, okay, where is the problem? But when we see that, for example, one LC is way below what they are supposed to be, we can see that there is problem maybe with that LC, and then we can see that maybe CU is very good. So we know that, okay, Trnava should talk with CU. So it's a bit more complex. Also, when it comes to anything else, we can give better recommendations for people, and we can analyze the situation way better as MCVPs. Then there is second slide, which also LCPs are filling in. This is sort of like activities that were done in the month that is being reviewed. So if I am Misho from Bistrica, I write here like what were all the activities that happened in my LCs regarding talent management. And when it comes to us, I try to personalize it so you know exactly what is your role to fill. And this is as well like activities that were done. And in this case, if I'm Cricketka, I write all the things that are connected to TM as such, so to the JD as such. Then what was my contribution to the roadmap? So as me as Cricketka, what are the things that I did for the roadmap, for the things that I'm responsible for, of course, and for the focuses that I'm responsible for, like what were the activities that contributed to those focuses. Even though I mentioned it already, huge disclaimer is that with this type of reviewing, there is a huge responsibility on the people that are going to prepare the stuff. So it will, the whole review will be as good as the people are prepared for. So it's no longer like if you fill in this template, everything is clear, but it is required to really analyze stuff and put together something. That goes mostly for the upcoming slides, which is recruitment update in this case, but it doesn't need to be recruitment update when we don't have recruitment, and then conclusions and learnings. With this, don't limit yourself to these two slides. Use as many slides as you need. So, for example, I don't know, use charts, use pie charts to show like what is currently happening, from where do we get membership, in Cricket's case. I don't know, like what are the grades at school, like where do we get our membership from. I don't know if they are first graders, second graders, just so we as MC can also better understand what is really happening. And when it comes to conclusions and learnings in general, like try to figure out what are the main takeaways, what does those numbers tell us, what is the situation in the area, and so on. I believe all of you remember how Vlastio, for example, did his analysis, that he could have just put down like, okay, what is the NPS score, what is the response rate, and that would be it. But that would not tell us a lot. So instead of that, he analyzed, okay, like what does it mean? What are the things that are influencing these? What is the situation with that, and so on. So please be really self-responsible for the outcome that you are going to present during reviews, so we can actually understand what is happening way better. Then after this whole review, because it will be, even though it's one PPT, it is going to be divided into two parts, like reviews and then plans presentation. But when it comes to the first part, we are going to go through the first slides until MC inputs. So here we are going to put down the inputs that we have for the LCs. And that's it. Then we move to another functional area. I will get back to what happens afterwards. So it is the same with finance. It works in the same way. When it comes to this, we are no longer going to have like separate finance updates, but please Belko use this space to actually do the finance update. As you can see, you have 30 minutes for the whole presentation, so it should include also the things we agreed on during quarter review. Yes. CXY, the same. These are just numbers, so you should not use the space of 20 minutes to say what are the numbers. Like Banska Bystrica is planning to have 15, but they managed only 10. No, we can see and we can read, and it is in our responsibility to actually check the PPT before. I will talk about that a bit later. But for you, or for the MCBP/MCP, it is important to actually go through these slides, understand them, know why the numbers are in the way as they are, and then in the conclusions and learnings, draw an analysis of like what you managed to learn but while analyzing the slides and the numbers. So again, it should be for us to better understand what is happening, what are the reasons why we are having certain numbers, and so on. Good. When it comes to DM and B2B, it is the same but without LCs. So it's only staff, for example, for Mirka, and then staff, for example, for Vlastio. There is also PD, so we are counting with Paťka for the review. I hope that, Pati, you are listening also to this video. And when it comes to me and LCPs, there is separate there is separate section for us as well. We have our own. I will add here growth in approvals and realizations, both. So we will be as well showing like what is overall happening in ISEX Kia, and it has the same concept. Good. So this should be clear. I really hope it is clear. One thing what I mentioned is that since now the PPT was prepared only now, there is not that much time until we have review, but the deadline will be in advance, so it will not be like midnight or something. And I really believe that I can trust everyone, that everyone will go through the PPT before to see the numbers, to to see what is written there, to read the PPT, so we don't need to spend time by clicking and just reading from the slides. That should be each and every one of us's responsibilities. And during review, we are actually going to just review what is happening. Good. So that is the before noon, let's call it, and then after noon, it has more or less the same flow. So after the MC inputs, this is where we finish, and there are 2 more slides which are priorities for February. So kind of like what are the activities that are planned for the next month or the next quarter. And when it comes to this, how it is going to look like. So LCPs or LCs are going to fill this in before, so we will actually see what do they plan to do. And also when it comes to us, try to fill it in as much as possible, because you are doing your, you have your individual plans. You should know what circa is going to happen in February, but yes, there will be space for synergies planning and roadmap planning. Like there will be space for aligning each other in the plans, but there will not be like 2 hours of individual planning, just because we are wasting time with that. So again, you are going to sit down, and when you prepare the whole PPT, you also put stuff here. And then during the review, there will be space to have synergy meetings, just to cross-check in case something needs to be still edited there, then you just edit and then we present it together. So it should be clear. I'm going to stop the video. In case it is not clear, please let me know.